Welcome to a quick session on mid lane. Would you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Khan. I'm 21 years old, and I'm an Azir main in Platinum.
Alright, cool. So, when you texted with me earlier, you said something about wanting to impact the map a bit more in early game with Azir, right?
Yeah, in the early and mid game because yeah, I feel like it's a bit more difficult within late game champ.
Yeah, I can understand that sentiment quite well because, there's champs like Ari which can like push and roam a lot and have good CC and mobility and can actually gank very well. And you can
Yeah.
kind of do that with Azir too, but it's not as easy like by far. So I can definitely understand that. So this game you sent me here, what would you say like happened?
I feel like I didn't play too bad in the laning phase,
Mm-hmm.
but the map was a bit behind, right? Like the other guys weren't having the best games.
Yep. Would agree with
And
that.
yeah, to be honest, I don't remember the game 100% anymore.
I mean, I'm kind of quickly scrolling through, so just so you can like maybe remember it a bit. When did you play it?
It's I think from the 20th or something.
Okay, so 4 days ago already. Okay. I mean, yeah, in that case, I can
Yeah, the thing
understand.
is, I did want to send you a newer one, but I didn't have too much time yesterday.
That's fine. This is a good one, so I think we can work with this. So I would agree with you. First of all, that I think your laning is fine. Like if you look, your traitor pretty good. Like Shaco comes, you're also kind of chilling. Here you take good reset. That's something I would actually, side note, like to see you do more often, because I feel like sometimes you overstay. But again, that's not the main point of this one. I
Yeah,
think our main point should more be on like how you utilize your pushes and like actually getting waves pushed in. So if you look at the first few waves you play, it always kind of hovers on her side of the map, but you never actually get a crash, which I think is somewhat awkward, because once you get a crash, you can actually do something on the map, right?
yeah,
But in this spot, you can't actually move, because you have to still farm the minions.
yeah.
So what I would...
It's a lot of times I'm a bit hesitant of pushing too much because I'm afraid of getting ganked or like being too low on mana because like you want to poke with Azir, right? And if you
Mhm.
don't have any mana, you can't.
I mean, yeah, you can poke with Azir, that's completely valid. But also, where's the difference between, look, me crashing this wave, like me crashing this wave right now, or me standing here? Because when I crash it, I can just move back to Africa and be really safe, right?
Yeah,
But if I stand here, then I'm a lot more vulnerable as opposed to when I just crash it. So here I would just get rid of it immediately and then like chill and see what I can do. And I think
yeah,
that's going to be our main point, which we to talk about, is that you actually start like looking what happens at the map and your options to like actually impact it.
okay.
Because when I see you play, I see a lot that you just interact with what's on your screen right now. So like here it's kind of obvious because you're playing laning phase, but if we go to like a bit later on, now Bart appears in your screen, now you start interacting with him. And then this is kind of a fight you end up getting caught in, and which you didn't intend to go to, right? It just
Yeah,
sort of happened. And I feel like that's something that's happening to you quite a lot, where you play very reactively to what's happening to you and to what's like moving towards you on the map. And so
yeah, that's true.
you just kind of see, okay, there's people walking towards me, let's fight that. Like here, this one, you see, ooh, Kallista's fighting Shyvana, let's go there and fight. And then Shaco kind of joins and you die for it.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a good summary.
So I think what I want you to try to do is not just react to plays. Because, I mean, it's good that you notice these things, first of all. It's not a bad thing, by any means. I think it's very good. But I think you also need to start valuing yourself as someone who can make proactive things happen.
Yeah, yeah,
And This is also why I talked about shoving in waves earlier, because obviously if you shove waves, you actually get to like have windows where you can roam and where you can go to other places, because obviously like if there's a wave in the middle of the lane, like right now you can't move, otherwise you will lose 10 million CS.
Yeah.
So that's not a sensible choice. But imagine this wave here was gone, you could easily roam top right now, right?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the kind of play which you would probably be missing out on. It doesn't really happen this game all that much, because again, I think you should be pushing a lot more consequently, which is kind of related, I think.
Yeah. So it's maybe about my map awareness a bit.
I mean,
Right.
kind of, but also yourself, just setting yourself up to be able to actually do something with map awareness. Because what I also realize you do is when you get a push, like here, you just kind of stand around idly, and it feels like you don't really know what to do.
Yeah. I always want to do something, but
Yeah, like look,
then yeah.
look here. If I looked at this, for example, I would be like, okay, look, my top just got a solo kill, my jungler is topside, we could go Herald here, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel like you don't really have that thought process, and so you just kind of chill in lane and like get
Yeah,
ganked.
it's just like when I get the push, I'm like, oh wait, I didn't plan so far. You know what I mean? It's like this meme.
Yeah.
Because I just don't do that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. And so what I want you to first understand is that there's kind of a rhythm to mid lane. Does that make sense? There's like the 3 dancing steps, if you will. So first you shove the lane, then you have a window to do something, you go somewhere, you do something, you come back to lane, you push again. So those are like the 3 steps,
Okay.
ideally. And then, well, obviously your opponent is going to try to do the same, and whoever gets pushed and plays lane better gets pushed and can actually do something. And so, first of all, I want you to like understand that. Does that make sense to you already, or do I need to explain it more?
I think it makes sense.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, let's see if we can like find some more examples. I think we actually had a good one a while earlier. Yeah. So here again, like you shove it, it's good. But here you could already be aware that like Bard is coming from down here, and you actually want to base pretty badly.
Yeah.
So in this case, your step would be to shove and then base, and then come back to lane. So
Yeah.
the thing you can do in between pushing and returning to lane is a bit varied. You can do many things. You can go base, you can go ward somewhere, you can go invade, you can go gank, you can take an objective with your jungler. You can poke on a tower, especially with Azir, if you know where enemies are. That's just kind of the options you have.
Yeah.
So,
I just saw that I
Hmm?
probably didn't see Bart on the map, even though I could have seen him.
Yeah.
Because Scuttle Crab was taken.
but I guess to formulate it as a takeaway which works for you is whenever you have a wave pushed, okay? And
Yeah.
well, first of all, I want you to consequently push waves more often. But also, when you have that wave pushed, I want you to start actually thinking about, okay, what am I doing now? What's happening on the map? I want that to be kind of your trigger. Okay?
Yep.
So whenever you kill the last minion in lane, I mean, that's the latest possible moment. Ideally, you do it like 3 minutes before you finish pushing. But at that point, I want you to think, okay, what's going on the map right now? Question 1. And question 2, what can I do to positively impact it? In this case, as we said, it's basing. Let's see if we can find some more. So here are moves before you. Yeah, this is the example I was looking for earlier. So look here, you shoved a wave. 2 of your people are top, 2 of enemies are top. You can maybe look to make play there, especially because Bard is basing. You have ultimate up, and Vanessa just presses Wither on Fiora. She probably dies if you go there right now, correct?
Yeah.
So that would be the thing I would want you to look for in situations like these, like where you kill. Now I want you to think, okay, once this wave is gone, what am I doing? What makes sense to do? What's going on the map?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. You may or may not have watched the other 2 episodes, in which I both mentioned that I'm a really big fan of sticky notes. I do use them myself a lot, and so I would also recommend you do that if you have them at home. Right now I have 2 sticky notes hanging on my PC, which say don't greet and track threats, because that's the 2 things I'm working on right now.
Okay.
So I would recommend you put like a piece of paper on your screen where it says, after pushing, think about what to do or something, or however you would want to formulate it, just so you don't forget it. And then I would like to try to maybe get like one more mechanism to make sure you remember it. Because then we have the sticky note, we have the trigger on like 3 minions, and then maybe one more thing,
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
like in game, just so we're sure that you remember. You have any ideas, anything which is like notable to you, which you think could work well?
I don't know. I think it's map awareness, right? But
I mean, yeah, but what we're looking for is kind of a reminder, because what often happens, I think, is we try to like implement something into our gameplay, and then we're kind of in that different frame of mind of sort of being in game, and then we think about different things and not about what we wanted to actually play. So we need a few like mechanisms to get us to actually think about what we talked about in reviews.
yeah, okay, I get it. Oh,
So do you have any ideas for like triggers? There's like some stereotypical ones which we could do. We could do a beep tone, which like every 2 minutes beeps once, and that's supposed to remind you of what you want to do. You could also say, okay, every time you base, you remind yourself to do it. You could also have someone sit in your Discord and remind you. That's also a possibility.
yeah, okay. I don't know, to be honest.
Oh, actually, I think I have an idea. So, whenever you catch yourself wanting to take plates like this, I think that's a good one. Because when you just right-click plates like this, I think it's likely to be in a situation where you just kind of shoved and didn't know what to do. Because for most people, hitting plates is kind of the baseline.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit often I'm a bit concerned about the jungler when I do that, but
Yeah, it's good. Because most of the time people just kind of right-click plates because it's fun and forget about jungle. So it's good that you don't like do that brain AFK.
yeah.
All right.
Or maybe it could be when a new wave arrives, because I think often I'm not aware of, for example, the support coming to my lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a new wave arrives and I look at the map, then I think I just look at bot lane, and I think I'll be able to react quickly enough, right?
Yeah, we can also do that. All right.
Makes
So
sense, right?
in that case, we now have 3 things to remind you, right? First thing is the piece of paper. Second one is when you've cleared the last few minions. And then third one is when next wave arrives.
Yeah.
So like right here. Would that work for you?
Yes. I'm actually writing it down right now.
Well, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, cool. Do you have any questions left? Anything you would like to talk about? Anything to ask?
In the beginning of the session, you did say something about my landing, but you said it's not really relevant right now. So if we have time for that, maybe you could
I mean,
go on a bit more
sure.
about that.
So, I talked about your base timing, I believe.
Yeah,
So-
you said I agreed a bit, or like
Yeah,
I
so
always said?
so here it's good. But I think a bit later on, actually, where we exactly this situation. Like, look, you could easily base here. You have Ludens, right?
Yes.
So why don't you just base here? Like that's the point.
I'm a bit afraid of losing minions, right? Because if she just kills the wave, it's not a can wave, right?
Hmm? Yeah, but here you can also just sell Dorans if you want. Like, sure, you can stay. But the thing is, at this point, you're really behind in tempo because of that.
Yeah.
Because she has all her gold spent right now, and you don't. So she's a lot stronger than you, despite the fact that she like shouldn't be. Because you're
Yeah.
factually even in gold, at least. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Is it worth it selling Dorans that early in the game?
I think it depends on the spike, but if you get Ludens, I think it's fine.
Okay. Alright, then.
I would also be reluctant with selling my starter item, but I think for Mythic it's worth it.
Okay.
Right, but that's once again kind of opening up a whole new bottle of topics, and I don't think we want to get into that right now.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Then
Yeah, thanks.
no problem.